That's not gonna work. Hello everyone, welcome to Freedom Homestead. It is March 1st and I'm Tangi.
How you doing? I'm Jack. Welcome. Let me pull everything up so we can see everybody when they get on.
Yeah, let me not look so severe with my hair.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You asked me if I was sure. I was like, yep. And now I see it. I'm like, nope. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Are you staying nice and dry where you are?
Lisa's here. Mandy's here. Heaven's Essentials.
All right, y'all. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, we got a few things to talk about this week that's gone on.
Yeah.
Well, and we actually posted a video earlier in the afternoon.
Yes.
Which actually talked about some crazy stuff that's been going on here the last couple days. Let me fix that for you.
It's just gonna have to. It just is what it is. Okay.
So last week it was snowing here, and we had a snow day, and everything was iced over and snowed over. And then this week we're dealing with floods.
Yeah.
We're dealing with lots of rain.
It's just never ending. Just get a hat. I know, but if I got a hat, then it would like hide my
She'll
face.
mess with it for the whole entire show, probably.
Probably. But yeah, yes, our basement is nice and dry. Jack posted a video today. We are just so very thankful that the sump pump that we had installed last year
Yep.
is doing its job. I will say though, I was nervous because it's still running. It has been running nonstop for
Well, not nonstop.
24 hours.
It'll kick on. It'll run for about 30 seconds, and then it will kick off. And then about 20 seconds later, it's got enough water in it.
Pretty
where
much nonstop.
It kicks back on.
It keeps filling up and then purging and then filling up.
And it's still
and then
doing
purging.
that.
Yes.
It's still doing that.
That's what I meant when I said it's been running nonstop. So I've been a little nervous. I was like, please don't burn out, but it's not. Like it's still
Well,
going.
if you're new to our channel, within the past 2 years, I guess you could say, 2 years ago we had a major water event in this area, and our basement flooded. And so if you are new to our channel, go watch the video that I posted earlier today, because I actually have a segment of our video from 2 years ago
Yeah.
of what happened. And it was crazy because what we got yesterday was either the equivalent or more than what we got 2 years ago.
Yeah. We got 5.2 acres in a day.
Acres?
Acres.
We got 5.2
in
acres.
a day.
5.2 acres of rain.
Wow.
No.
Inches of rain in a day. And not even like in a 24-hour period, but like in a day.
It was a record for our area. It was a record rainfall for a 24-hour period for that day.
Yeah.
And
it
something
was
made
nuts.
the dogs mad.
Yeah. So Heaven's Essential said, if you lost power in a storm, that might be bad, ? Because our sump pump wouldn't kick on to spit the water out.
Well, we have a generator. So yeah, we would have to get the generator and use that. But yeah. You know, they have there's battery backups
Hey,
that we
Becky.
can get that you can plug the generator. You can plug the sump pump into a battery backup too. So we don't have that, but I mean, we never lost power. We do have a generator.
Yeah. Mandy said, was it a world record, Jack?
You gotta watch the video. You have to watch. She's watched the video.
She's watched the videos. Why she said that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she wouldn't have asked if I didn't know she watched the video, because I kind of said that, and then at the bottom said, not world record.
Yeah. Someone said, do you have a driveway yet? Yes. The water has receded enough now that the driveway is poking up out of the water. So
That's a good sign. Water's starting to go down.
Yep. My face is so thin. Thank you. I will tell y'all this. I actually have not gotten to work out at all this past week. Of course, I went live for a short time Monday. Y'all couldn't hear me because my phone was a jerk, which I got a new phone today, by the way, so yay. But anyway, and then we had to cut it short. So what happened the next day, Tuesday, I hurt my back. How did I do that? The same way I did it last time, picking up laundry. And so I've straightened my back and I haven't been able to work out. So that's been really a bummer, but I am still working on my diet. If you haven't been watching, I've been keto for a really long time, but now I'm trying a high carb, low fat diet, and I keep going over my fats, and it's just old habits die hard, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm still working, still trying, still working on it.
Yeah, it's kind of been hard. I mean, we were dealing, we talk about all the rain and everything, but really, and I said it on the video, we're blessed. And the Lord's been good to us because He allowed us to get that sump pump. And the way it's been pumping, we would have had more water this time in our basement than we did in our other event. So
most definitely.
Yeah, and then you hurting your back.
You would have been fighting that on your own.
Yeah, but it could have been a lot worse too because she's been down before. She's pulled her back out before and not even been able to walk for a few days. But
this time it wasn't that bad.
You haven't been that bad. I mean, it's been bad.
And just to clarify, anytime that I have strained my back, it has always been muscular. It has never been spine. So I'm blessed in that way. But it's just frustrating. Yeah. It's just very, very irritating.
And many of you homesteaders that follow us and do your own homesteading or farming, if you hurt your back, I mean, you really can't do anything, or you don't feel like doing anything. Yeah. It's very, very debilitating. Yeah. And if you have a homestead, there's things that it can't be put off.
Right.
And so it's a really hard position to be in, I guess.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
Yeah. But it's just a matter of making myself not do too much, which I am really bad about doing that. It's like, oh, well, I'll just push through and get this done, and then I end up paying for it later. But but anyway, do I go to the chiropractor? We do have a chiropractor. But the last time I hurt my back and went to him, he said, I can't really do anything for you because this is all muscular. It has nothing to do with my frame. And so he recommended that I go to a massage therapist, which, by the way, if you are in pain and you go to a massage therapist, it is not relaxing. It's not what you would automatically think. It's painful, but it's, it's for a purpose. And then when you're done, you feel a lot better. But the whole process of having your muscles snapped back into position is not fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, your body's crazy. It's a crazy thing. You can go out and work all day doing some really hard labor. And then come back in at the end of the day and just sneeze the wrong way.
Yeah.
And hurt yourself. And so anyway, we've been dealing with that. We went from snow to flooding. Fun times.
Yeah.
Fun times here.
Kathy said that's a bunch of bunk that a chiro can't help you with muscular. Mine does all the time. Well, okay, let me clarify what he said. He basically said that he could, except that if I did not get my muscles straightened out, he said your muscles will actually pull your frame back into the position that they were in. And so he recommended that I go to a massage therapist, get my muscles in order, and then he could do an adjustment, which I never went back for the adjustment. But anyway, so that's what happened there.
Yeah, I've had some back issues, and the chiropractor basically told me that, of course, some of the things I do at work requires a lot of twisting. I mean, if I work in a cave, crawling, And it's just not something that most people normally do my age.
Hey, Fermented Homestead.
And yeah, the chiropractor was like, your muscles are so tense because they're trying to protect your skeletal system and everything. He says it's so tense. He says, you know, you can come back several times, but what we're basically going to try to be doing is relaxing all that and just trying to get that down, because it inflames everything when they start doing that.
Yeah. And I'm sure if you've been watching our channel for more than a few years, y'all probably remember the first time that I hurt my back. And that was awful. That was terrible. And they say that if you've done it once, you're susceptible to, you know, doing it multiple times. But it was during garden season, and then I had 2 parallel rows of cucumbers, and I was going through picking them. Well, it was like pretty early in the day, and so there were tons of bees in the blossoms of the cucumbers. And so I kind of twisted funny and was kind of trying to scoot out of the cucumber row, and I mean, my back just seized up. It was awful. Do you remember? And I had to either called you or texted you, and I'm like, I've thrown my back out. I'm in bed.
He's like, I don't. Yeah, and well, you didn't even know if you were going to be able to get back to the house.
I wasn't. I had to drop my basket, and I walked very slowly back to the house.
I gotta get some. I'm gonna check. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, poor Valley. Bless your wife's heart. It's a lot carrying a little tyke around, in utero or out of utero. Let's see. Thank you, Matt and Sarah. That's so sweet. I go for my arthritis and I work in a nursing home. Bless your heart, lifting people. I love my chiropractor day. I'm telling you what, CNAs, y'all are amazing. I mean, y'all do some really, really tough stuff. Hey, Sue. Hello, Annabeth. Glad you're here. Threw your back out lifting a box of concentrated pop. Doctor said I was doomed to pain pills for life. Chiro fixed it in about a week. The lady that I go to for massage therapy, of course I say that like I go regularly. I don't. I haven't been in a few years, but she said that she became a massage therapist. She had had a really bad car accident, and her doctor had also given her just like, you know, you're going to be like this for your whole life, and it's like really bad pain or whatever. And so she went to a massage therapist, and she said working with them for an hour and a half, she said it completely changed my life, and I left there knowing that I wanted to help people in the same way that they helped me. And so then she became a massage therapist. So I thought that was pretty cool. Hey, Carol. Glad you're here. Well, hello, Swampy Acres. We're glad you're here. Blue Emu helps me with muscle pain. Is that's not like is that one of those essential oil creams? Yeah, I don't know. I've heard of Blue Emu, but I don't know where I've heard of it from. Cairo suggests going to massage therapist first and then get an adjustment. I had back surgery 15 years ago and been doing this ever since. Yeah, he actually has a massage therapist in his office, but it's a guy, and I don't feel comfortable with that, so I just go to the lady when I do go. Let's see. Trying to scroll up and see if I've missed anything. Hey, Jared, and yes, you're correct. We did go from Antarctica to Miami to a rainforest in 3 weeks. So true. Oh my goodness, Mandy, he broke his back when he sneezed? That's crazy. Georgia, seriously. All right. Are we buffering, or is it just my computer here? Have I ever tried DMSO topically? What is that? What is DMSO? Emu oil with other things in it. Far from natural, but it helps. Well, hey, I ain't judging. That sounds good. Georgia is demanding. Y'all hear that? That's what she does when she's hungry or thirsty. If her bowls are empty, she goes over there and she hits them. Usually it turns them over, but most of the time it just makes a racket. Okay, good. Thank y'all. It's a horse liniment. Oh, okay. Hey, Jennifer. Basement is dry. Praise the Lord. Yes, so Tashana actually, I know, Georgia's demanding. So yeah, my cousin, really amazing, and I'm really excited to be going into this next
right.
phase with her. Hopefully.
You got it taken care of.
What were you doing?
I was letting the dogs out, and I've had my sinus issues
Oh,
lately going on. So,
okay. Well, I didn't know. I thought you said you were getting something.
yeah, to blow my nose and stuff.
Georgia was over there hitting her bowl. But anyway, so yeah, to Shanna, thank you, Kathy, for sharing the link, and I think I saw that Mandy had also. So if you're new, Tashana is my cousin. She owns a personal trainer business, and I've been working with her for the last 12 weeks. And I have a video somewhere talking about how awesome it is and how far I've come in 12 weeks, starting another 12 weeks with her to reach my goals. But Tashana has a special for any of our viewers that are interested in her services. She works with women only, and she works remotely, so everything is done over Zoom. And she did tell me that several people have reached out to her and several have signed up with her through our channel. So that is really, really awesome, and I appreciate that that you all are trying her out, and I just think that's so great.
Catherine Meza, is that your last name?
Meza.
She broke her back in a car accident, but she's doing great. She was even in the Army and has had 2 children.
That's amazing. That is really great.
Talk about bouncing back. I
Yeah.
mean, that's awesome.
That is very, very awesome.
Have you, I know you haven't because you hurt your back, but last week was also going to be the week that we were going to start our seeds.
Yeah, I haven't done that.
So this week, if we can, we've really got to get those going.
Yeah.
We're kind of behind on the seed starting.
Just a little.
We do have the setup.
We do.
We've got everything set up in the basement.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, we've got to get on it. And the reason I thought about that is because this afternoon, when I was running errands in town, I passed several farms and they already had their fields plowed. And it reminded me, I was like, oh, we got to get on it.
Yeah.
But, so hopefully we will be starting seeds within the next week between now and next Monday and kind of tell you what we got started and how that's going and what we're growing.
Yeah. I'm just like reading all of y'all's comments about things that y'all have had happen.
I know.
And it's just the human body is just amazing. It really is. I'll tell you this, when I was 12 or 13, I had to have an appendectomy, and I had let it go so long that my appendix was on the verge of bursting. And the doctor, before we went in for surgery, he told my mom, he said, this is very routine. I do it all the time. It'd be 10, 15 minutes. We'll be in and out. Well, 10 to 15 minutes came and went. Time just kept going on. And I don't know how long I ended up being in surgery. But the doctor came out and told my mom, he said that since my appendix was about ready to burst, he said it was already releasing toxins. And what happens is that the fat that I had in that area was surrounding my appendix to protect my body from the toxins.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So that's what took so long for the surgery, is because they had to
get through
go through all of that. Yeah. So it's just, we're just designed.
I know. It's awesome.
Amazingly. We are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes. And to touch on that just a bit, because we are made wonderfully. You know what's cool is we had no idea. We do not know from Sunday to Sunday what our pastor's going to preach on.
Oh, I know what you're going to say now.
And we went to church Sunday morning, and he starts preaching, and he said, the Lord's put on my heart a topic to preach on, and it's gardening. And I'm thinking, really? And because we film it and show it to the ones that still are shut in or can't get out and stuff like that, I thought, well, we shared it on our Freedom Homestead Friends page on Facebook. I was like, that's pretty cool. So he didn't get into any heavy doctrine. He just said, here's a subject that was put on my heart, and how gardening can be taken to spiritual growth, and if you take it from a spiritual standpoint. And it was really cool, just the way he tied it together for a sermon. So we decided to share it, and I was just like, we got so many friends that garden and do homestead stuff, and if you watch us enough, you know that we try to live out our faith too, and so we thought it'd be cool to share with you guys. Yeah. So if you get a chance,
if you're on Facebook and
you want to watch it
and you follow our channel,
you're welcome to.
Really
it's on there. If
it's a good message.
If you've got a few minutes to spare and want to watch that, that's really cool.
Grandpa's Urban Homestead. Your name is Parker. How did I miss that? That's really neat. And see, aside from everything else, garden is good for the soul. Yes, it is.
And even in his sermon, he said, I think he said, I never understood when I was little how people can pick up soil and they smell it and they like it. And he goes, I know now. Yeah. He said, that's one of the greatest smells, and he said it's something about it. It's just refreshing. But.
Yeah, that's really neat. Well, I guess our son's name is Parker, right? So that's really cool. Yeah, I guess I haven't actually had the opportunity to get your name. So that's really neat. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, so North Star grabbed our Facebook group link, Freedom Homestead Friends, and you guys are welcome. But listen, if you do head over there, you have to answer the security questions before we let you in.
It's 2 questions. Please answer them.
Yeah, it's not difficult.
We'll let you in. Yeah. We'll let you in.
Yeah, and also if you try to invite your friends to join, then you need to let them know, because I think sometimes people will invite their friends and their names just sit there for a really, really long time because they don't know that they're supposed to answer questions.
We can share it in the Freedom Homestead page too, but you would have to do that.
Yeah.
It's fresh turned earth. There's something about the smell. I don't know if it just reminds me of when I was little and my parents and grandparents would farm, and it's a smell that, it's a good smell, but it also, when I smell it, it also makes me, it's almost like a comfort food. And I hope that makes sense. It's a smell that takes me back to my childhood and a time where, just growing up and enjoying life and smelling the fresh turned earth and seeing my parents work and stuff like that. And now that we're doing it, I don't know. It's just, it's a connection.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Tiffany Parker, but I go by my last name because I hate when people call me Tiff. Well, that's cute. I like it. It smells better in Tennessee.
Smells better in Tennessee.
That's funny. Yeah. So I don't know that the smell of dirt takes me back to my childhood. Of course, I grew up in Georgia and we had clay. Clay smells different than the dirt that's here, but it is a good smell. But we came from the dirt, so that's why.
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see. Hello, Peacemaker. Handmade quilts do that for me. Yeah, I can understand that.
There are simple things that we do or that you guys might do, either for hobbies or gardening, or even if it's
hey, Southern Blessed,
some of your animals, some of the livestock, just certain things, just small things like smelling the earth, fresh turned earth in a garden and stuff. It's simple things that just seem so satisfying. It's cool. It's cool.
I would agree. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing all of that. And I will say our chickens have been doing an amazing job. When we let them free range, they get out there and they're kicking up dirt and the wood chips that are out there.
Something else, probably the most, okay, and you guys can let us know what you think, but I think one of the best smells in the garden
Boy.
are tomatoes. To me, it's really that season when you can go out there and just the tomato plant itself smells good, but when you have fresh tomatoes on the vine, they have a smell that I love. I love the smell of tomatoes. And I don't know, I mean, I like the taste of them too, but tomatoes, that's a smell that's very distinct for me. Do you have like a favorite thing?
Basil.
Basil,
Lemongrass. Actually, pretty much any of the herbs. Every time I go out there, I'm running my hand and smelling my hands and just, and then sometimes like I'll take the lemongrass and I'll like rub it. Of course, it's good to keep the mosquitoes away too, but yeah, just any of the herbs just smell
sawdust.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sawdust is a nice smell. I would agree with that.
Yep.
Did the chickens area get flooded? It was for a little while. Well, pretty much while it was raining. It was very.
Yeah.
I looked out there and they were all like either. We have like half of a ladder out there, and some of them were roosting on that, and a lot of them were roosting on the ramp. They wouldn't go in the coop.
I know,
but they were. They would try to get as high as they could though. But then as soon as
they'll stand
it stopped,
just outside the door of the coop and like, we're miserable.
Yeah, but as soon as it quit raining, the water receded out of the coop area. But yeah, I mean, it was just, ugh. It's just nasty out there.
If anybody watched our video when it snowed and when we got out in the snow, one of the chickens absolutely cracked me up because it took them a while to want to walk in the snow. And I love, if y'all got pets, the first time it snows and our dog goes outside and he's kind of looking at it like, what is this? And they're sniffing at it and they're, when their paws, when they start walking in it. There was a chicken that was doing the same thing and it was cracking me up. It did not want to step in the snow. So it would try to jump from the coop to the ladder and miss the snow. And I got it on video. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Good night. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying what smells that remind them of loved ones. I love that.
Ooh, peppercini plants.
My granddaddy has always worn Old Spice, so when I smell it, I do think of Granddaddy.
Yeah. Somebody else talking about sawdust reminds them of their dad. Yeah.
Peppercini plants.
Yeah.
Oh, all of this garden talk is making me so excited.
I was at
actually when brother Mike was preaching, I was like, yeah, all that garden talk.
Yeah. And if you watched us a lot, actually our pastor is a homesteader, and we bought our chickens together. He built a huge chicken coop. He's built a huge greenhouse.
He's going to help build our greenhouse.
And he's got some of the seeds that he has started. He's going to share with us. So
I would agree with that.
And
Leah.
he's working on his own channel, trying to get it going.
Leah said, well, I'm sure it's Leah, maybe Cecil, I don't know. Can't beat gunpowder smell.
Excuse me. Yep.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's a good, to me, that's a good smell.
Yeah. Breath of heaven.
That
I've
chicken
never smelled
couldn't
that
be.
before.
Yeah, that chicken was not graceful at all. It was trying its best to stay off the ground.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was almost standing on its head at
I'll
one
tell you
point.
what, and I don't know if it's just the breed of chickens that we have. I have to feel like it is, but the longer we have them, the more I love those things. They are so fun. They're just like, if we've had them out free ranging and it's like getting to the end of the day and we want to get them back in the coop, we'll go get a scoop of scratch. And then all you have to do is like shake it a little bit. And then here they all come like running and kind of doing their waddle. And it's like a litter of puppies coming after you. And it's just so adorable. I mean, I would still eat them if I had to. But they're just so much fun. And they just seem like they're, what's the word? Affectionate. But we have barred rocks, and that's one of the reasons why we went with barred rocks is because they're supposed to be very friendly.
The
chickens.
Texan life. I like what they wrote. They shared a really nice thought when they were a kid, leaving their windows open and they could smell the cotton gin. That's cool.
Oh, I like your channel name too, Texan Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely love, when you have that first warm day and you raise all the windows.
Do we have a competition among moderators who
What
can
is-
post stuff the quickest? I think it's funny.
Well, they're just that amazing.
We have awesome moderators, by the way.
Yes,
they
we
are
do.
amazing and they're on it.
And
Amazing.
almost all of them have channels, and really, really amazing channels too. Well, good night, Catherine. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Caleb pulls one of our barred rocks around in a sled, and she loves it. She thinks she
funny.
belongs with people. Yeah.
That's hilarious. My nickname is now Grasshopper. I love that.
And I think because we don't have a rooster,
Hey, Bomber
it's allowed
Steve.
them to be more docile and gentle
True.
and more like little pets that
But
follow
I
you
might
around.
be getting a rooster.
You might be getting a rooster.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
I thought you had.
No.
Yeah, we might be getting a rooster.
I don't know. That could turn out bad if we introduce one now.
Well, listen. If it turns out to be bad, then it'll be rooster stew. But something to try. Something to try.
We have a viewer from Australia saying hello.
Yes, I already said hi to them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that.
Been training Mandy. She's my grasshopper. I love that. The smell here is bonfire. Yes, I love that too. When I smell that, it reminds me of fall. Yep, I love that smell too.
Yeah, I was so much thinking about gardening and smelling that one of my favorite smells all time is a campfire. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's foods, certain things when they're cooking and they smell the house up, you're just like, yep, it's going to be a good meal.
That sounds really relaxing, Donna. She said when we were kids, we would leave our windows open at night, and my sister and I would go to sleep listening to the train going by in the distance.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we, not long after when did we had the roof put on last year, right?
No,
Year before last?
about 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. We had a metal roof put on.
It was kind of when the basement flooded and then the roof got damaged.
It was like everything happened at
happened
once.
within 2
That's
or 3
true.
months. Yeah.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago.
But yeah, so, everything that people say about, rain on a metal roof is so very true.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I grew up, some of the houses that we lived in when I was growing up had metal roofs, so
Well,
I didn't know that.
I've never had that. I've never lived in a house with a metal roof. I've always heard people tell us, the sound of rain on a metal roof, and yep, I kind of get what they're saying now.
Yeah. Love the sound of the train at night. It's so relaxing. Yeah. We can hear them too. We can hear a train from here too sometimes.
But we live nowhere near train tracks.
Well, we live like what, 6 miles?
About 5 or 6 miles
7 miles?
away.
Yeah.
But still, on certain nights, you can hear the train.
Yeah.
You can hear the train coming.
Yeah. I remember when for a little while, my family, we lived in Mississippi when I was little, and we lived close to train tracks. And I remember at first it was very noticeable, but then you just get to where you don't notice it anymore.
Yeah, there is something about little boys. They all like fire. Somebody.
Ain't that the truth? Let's see, my son was burning stuff with a magnifying glass when he was little.
that's what I was commenting
Okay, I'm
on.
reading it now. I told him that worried me. He looked at me so serious. All boys like fire, Mom. That is so cute and so very true. Let's see. Hey, Cindy.
Has anybody out there started your seeds yet and got stuff growing?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I know
yeah.
some people spring's already hit where you live, and so you're able to already get
Hey,
stuff
Randy.
even in the ground.
Hi, Becky.
And then some people are still dealing with winter.
Yeah.
Winter, you're still in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you started seeds yet.
A peacemaker is helping you with your song. It's coming around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since
I don't know when.
Well, no, that's a different one.
All right.
Yeah. I'm stuck in
a
Folsom
peacemaker.
prison.
I started my seed trays
Time
today.
moves. Yep.
Yeah.
Dragging on. Let's see, 3 blocks. Yeah, I've got to start that stuff. cabbage, and probably will have to start it all at once now since I'm this late into
Grandpa's
the game.
Urban Homestead. We are growing stuff.
Hands in the dirt in Georgia. Which part of Georgia? You don't have to tell me the town, but like which part? Because that's
I got to let the dog back
that's
in.
my home state. Let's see. Unfortunately, no seed starting yet. We're full spring here in North Florida. Man, I've always, ever since I started gardening, I just thought, man, it would be so awesome to live somewhere where you could garden all the time. But I'm sure, I would probably get burnt out though. Hey, Banks Homestead. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Why were you in the hospital? My goodness. Well, you don't have to tell. That's probably personal, but I am so sorry to hear that. Let's see. Our peppers and tomatoes have been transplanted twice already. Wow. That is awesome. Did an experiment this winter and have been growing lettuce inside. It's starting to get pretty big. Oh, wow. Atlanta suburbs. Oh, very, very cool. You were born in South Georgia. I'm originally from Northeast Georgia, so about 70 miles northeast of Atlanta is where I'm from. Let's see. Time I usually start seeds. Plant around the first week of May.
It's really hard to believe that March is here.
I know.
It's the 1st of March.
It's crazy. Well, how long did you say you had your Jeep? A year?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, where did the year go?
I've been telling people,
crazy.
I got this a few months back. No, it was a year ago.
Randy, that is so exciting. You'll never forget your first garden. I'm pretty
really?
sure. Yep, I'm pretty sure everyone can say
Randy
that.
started seeds for
You'll never forget your
first
first
time gardening.
Yep, we were born in Athens. Okay, yeah, that's like 25, 30 minutes up the road from where I grew up. Very, very cool.
Gardening is, it's something that as a kid, I didn't really like it. It was more of a chore. I was being made to help work in the garden and didn't really like it. But now, grown and wanting to grow my own food, now gardening to me is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is still work, and sometimes there's things involved that you don't want to do, or maybe it's a little difficult to do.
Yeah.
But I love the journey of can we harvest this year, or can we make this grow, and then we find out what works, what doesn't work, what grows well and what doesn't grow well with what we've got set up.
Yeah. Tina said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's such a journey.
It really is.
Every year. So he's saying it's his first garden.
Yes.
And he will probably have some stuff that
It's gonna bomb.
really surprises him and how well it does, and then the stuff that just like it's not growing, it's not doing good. And the next year, try it again, and it may do great. And you're like, why? But
Tina said, I wish I could forget my first garden. It was a nightmare. Well, the thing, like, if I could offer some advice.
Don't let that discourage you.
To a first-time gardener, it would be, don't be afraid to fail, because that is how you learn. I mean, we have made a million mistakes, but like he said, you keep trying new things and then you get the hang of it. And it's such a rewarding experience. So, embrace the victories, but also embrace the failures, which my favorite quote, a lot of y'all know it, is in gardening, there are no such thing as failures, only experiments. And it's very, very true, because the only way that you will actually fail is if you don't keep trying. So
the only bad garden is one you don't learn from. I
ooh,
like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put
And
that
it
on
goes
like
back,
a plaque. Yeah.
It goes back to scripture, through tribulations worketh patience. And so you have some of those that don't work out, you learn. I mean, it's through experience. And I mean, we every year we try to grow something that we've never grown before. This year, I know Tabasco peppers are going to be new for us. We've never grown Tabasco peppers, and I want some Tabasco peppers this year.
Yeah. Yeah, we have, I mean, we're mostly going to stick to trying to grow. trying to grow a staples garden, but we are going to try a few new things. And like you said, Tabasco peppers is one of them. Also have those midget melons that I'm really looking forward to growing.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are a lot of things that, or a few things that we're going to try new for the first time. And also different methods, not just different foods, but different methods.
Do we grow veggies for our chickens?
We will.
Yeah, I think we will have, especially our raised beds where we grow lots of varieties of lettuce
Yes.
and some greens, and so
And herbs.
we'll
We do give chickens a lot of the herbs.
yeah, we'll
that
be
we grow.
able to have enough, Lord willing, to make sure we feed the chickens some of those greens as well.
Yeah. Let's see. I wanted to go back up and read. Where did it go? I saw hands in the dirt. Here we go. Gardening for me is trial and error. I love to experiment with new veggies just to see if I can grow them. And yes, that's me too. Just to see if I can do
Yeah,
it.
and if there's one thing that I wish we could grow better, just the one thing that pops out, are melons.
Yeah.
Because we love watermelon, cantaloupe, stuff like that. But every year we try to grow them, we really just don't get them.
Well, we haven't tried in a couple of years, but yeah.
But every time we have tried, we just really haven't had good success with them.
No, the best melons that we ever grew were cantaloupe, and it was a volunteer vine.
That's true.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let it do its
Yeah.
thing, and they actually produced well. But anyway,
And when we tried to
keep
grow,
trying.
when we tried to grow
Hey,
them, especially
Rebecca.
when we tried to grow watermelons, I was really excited,
Mm-hmm.
and then it fizzled out. They rotted. They didn't taste. I mean, it was disappointing. But
Mm-hmm.
again, it's a learning process.
it is. You learn what
like-
kind of amendments you need.
Yeah. What can I
and
do to
where
make
you
this
should plant
work
them.
next year?
Yeah. Yep. Melons like sandy soil. Yeah, I don't know if we need to just have a patch where we can work some sand into it so it'd be nice and
Yeah, and
loose.
we really haven't tried, I guess you could say, to make a lot of changes to make it work. It's
Mm-hmm.
just there's been a couple of years where we decided, well, let's plant some melons and see what happens.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out well.
Hey,
and I was
Bob.
like, well, it's a disappointment, but it's not like we were really, really expecting a huge crop.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll get some random seed and was like, ooh, I don't even know if we'll eat this stuff. I don't even know if we'll like this particular, seed or product. And we're like, well, let's throw a few in the garden and
See what happens.
let's see if they grow. And sometimes they grow great, and sometimes we're like, well, that didn't work. We know not to mess with them anymore.
Yeah. Sounds like a pollination problem, and it could have been.
It could have been.
Probably was. Do we need to try a shorter season variety? Probably.
Maybe.
Probably
I mean,
do.
I work with some
Like,
guys.
aren't sugar babies aren't they? A shorter season variety.
I work with some guys that grow melons, and
And do a great job.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Pumpkins. We've grown pumpkins, and some of them have turned out really well.
Wow.
And some of them haven't.
Thank you so much, Urban Prepper. Wow.
Well, thank you.
Golly, that was very
I can't
unexpected
believe
and
it's
sweet. March.
March already.
Let's see.
It's time for me to turn some earth, experience some nostalgic smells, and hopefully do better than last year with my garden.
Aw, thank you
Thank you
so
for the regular
much.
live stream. We appreciate
that. Is so
that.
Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. I had trouble with my melons until I completely separated them from all the other vegetables and start with sweet ones and space well. And the key is starting early. That's a really good tip.
Okay, starting early. The one thing we've noticed about this area, well, not this area, just where we're at. Well, that's this area. But I mean, we could live 3 miles down the road and it could be
True.
completely different.
That's true.
This particular spot, our pollinators come in late.
Yeah.
We've noticed
This
that.
past year. Yeah.
The last couple of years, we just haven't had pollinators
Maybe not.
early. They've come in either midsummer. They really haven't been much in the spring.
Yeah. So basically, like, we would have blossoms on the squash plants for a week or two before we would see a single bee.
Yeah, we would actually have some squash try to produce fruit and
And then
not get pollinated,
yeah.
and so they don't produce, or they just fizzle out. But
we may need to consider having a beehive. The only issue is we live right next to a farmer, but one of them is a field, and
they spray.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we would just need to ask him outright what he sprays. I don't think he sprays Roundup, but we would need to find out.
Yeah, so I don't know how that would work.
All right. Good night, Poor Valley. Thanks for hanging out.
It says we're buffering a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully it won't be long.
And I mean, I do put flowers around the garden. Y'all know that, so I don't know.
Yeah, we try to do a lot of companion planting. You've really researched that.
Yeah, but I could probably do more like spring flowers, like pansies and I don't know, what are some other ones that tolerate cold weather pretty well? I know pansies is one.
They're all singing what?
That we're buffering? Oh no, that we want to plant more flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one year we had a ton of flowers. You had flowers.
Yeah, but that was later though.
On all corners of the garden, and.
But that was after the bees had already started. I hadn't put any out. Usually the earliest flowers I get are just the blossoms from the garden plants. So yeah, I may need to look into some early season blossoms. A lady was asking Jennifer about homesteaded canning. Jennifer told her Jared's cousin has a channel she should watch. She said, "That's your husband's cousin." I do watch. Oh wow, that's crazy. Very, very cool.
Weird. It's weird to find out sometimes who finds our channel and who watches us.
Yeah, that's really neat. Borage. I do have borage seeds. I don't know if I have any to list them or not. I'll have to look. There is a do not spray registry. If you have bees and are on that list, they have to spray super early before the bees are out and notify you when they are spraying so you can close your hives. Huh. That's cool. What about bulbs? I don't have any bulbs. I did have some, but they were old and I threw them away because they were crumbling. They weren't. Becky, we are in Kentucky. No Roundup. I cannot plant in my garden until after the farmer. Yes, I know. I hated that so bad. They had overspray in her garden, and she had to pretty much replant her entire garden last year.
Yeah. So a Peacemaker says he can grow squash in one spot of his property, but not in the other spots, and he only has about 1 acre, 1 acre apart. Yeah.
He or she.
They have about 1 acre apart, and they'll grow in one spot and not in the other.
Have we tried hand pollinating? I actually did do a little bit of that this past summer with the squash.
And when we walk through the rows of corn, we'll kind of walk through them and kind of shake them.
No, what I did with the, instead of doing the toothbrush or...
She's a she, so...
Okay, good.
Sorry about that.
Instead of using a toothbrush or like a paintbrush, I just pluck the male blossom off and give the girl flowers the business,
Plant the bulbs.
Like daffodils around your garden. They will come up in spring. Speaking of daffodils and nostalgia, growing up in Georgia, the house that I lived the longest in was a very old farmhouse. And just outside of my window, my bedroom window, there were daffodils that grew like this way. And you could tell they were planted strategically there, and there had to have been a house there at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the way the daffodils grew.
Yeah.
So when I see daffodils, of course we call them buttercups, but when I see them, or jonquils, I think is what my mom always called them.
What?
Jonquils?
I've never heard that.
You haven't?
No, never heard that term.
I always call them buttercups, but anyway, that's what I think.
Oh yeah, I love hiking, and sometimes we even throw a video about us going hiking or doing outdoor stuff, because this channel not only is just a homestead channel, it's about our life. And one thing we enjoy is getting out in the woods and going camping and hiking and
Kathy
stuff
knows
like
what I'm
that.
talking about.
Jonquils, I've never heard that term.
Yeah.
Not around here anyway. I haven't heard that term. But yeah, so I love hiking in the woods, and you come up on a patch where there's a whole bunch of those daffodils growing, and it was a homestead. There was a house there or a farm there, and if you start looking around, you'll probably find signs of an old foundation or a chimney. You got to be careful, because sometimes you come up on a well,
Yeah.
especially in our parts hiking around. But yeah, those daffodils in the spring are a telltale
Hey,
sign
Hallie.
that somebody lived there.
Yeah.
9-minute
large
warning
and
from our
wide.
mods.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
very much. I am looking forward to bedtime. I like to sleep.
Yeah. Well, I didn't sleep hardly any last night.
You didn't. You were, yeah.
I was so afraid of the basement flooding that I may have gotten maybe 2 hours
Yeah.
sleep. So
Yeah, I remember
I
you
did
came
take
to
a nap.
bed
I did.
after.
Yeah.
You came to bed like after midnight, and then I remember you getting up a few times after that.
Oh yeah,
Just to go
I was
downstairs
so
and
worried
check.
that our sump pump that I don't know, we've got it connected to a power strip. I was afraid the power strip would flip.
Yeah.
Or a breaker would flip. I was afraid it would quit pumping and water would start coming up. So I'd get up and check it and get up and check it. And then I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about it.
Yeah. Daffodils
yeah,
grow
gotta
wild
sleep.
in Georgia. Yeah. I have to say, I don't retain a lot of the information like I would like to very, very well. But I love learning about wildflowers and going out in the woods and seeing if I can identify any of them, and then knowing what they're good for. That is something, as I have gotten older, that I have really, really grown to enjoy. And yeah.
That's something,
So much
I'm
fun.
like you. When I was younger, I wouldn't have been interested in that at all, but it's kind of cool now.
It is.
It's neat to
Yeah.
learn that stuff.
It is, especially like what's medicinal, what's edible.
And that stuff will be popping up in the next
very
few weeks.
soon. Yeah. It won't be long, and there'll be time for dryland fishing.
Yes, if anybody knows that term,
But you know what's
depending
crazy?
on where you live.
I actually noticed one of the last times that I went to Meijer that in their like organic food section they will sell morel mushrooms.
Ooh, I bet they're
And
expensive.
they're expensive.
Yeah.
They're very expensive.
But
yeah.
they're kind of worth it.
And they grow
If you
wild
wanna
here.
splurge.
Yeah. It's weird buying something that you
Good
can
night. See you later.
pick in the woods. Good night, Parker. Let's see. And yes, I agree about satisfying about the water getting pumped out, for sure. Start a journal of the plants on your property and how to use them, etc. That's a good idea. Which wouldn't be hard because there's not a lot. I have found wild bee balm in the field behind our house. Remember last year I took a picture of it?
Yep.
And of course daffodils. And I have also noticed violets too on the property behind us, but I haven't seen any here though on our property.
Yeah.
Morel mushrooms, yes, here they're called dryland fish.
Yeah. Well.
In fact, there's a band that originated in this area, and they call themselves dryland fish.
Yeah. And they have other names. They have other local names as well.
What, the morels?
Yeah, people call them different things. I grew up calling them dryland fish.
Mm-hmm.
Some people grow up calling them like turkey heads or
That's what I've heard.
and
turkey
other
heads,
things.
yeah.
So
You have 100 zinnias and 100 marigolds started. That's
Wow.
That's a lot. But
Wow.
yeah, I love zinnias. I mean, I have them in my garden every year. I just think they're so beautiful. Of course,
yeah, maybe
marigolds are very beneficial.
maybe we need to go a little heavy on the flowers out and around the garden and backyard area just to see if we can draw in a ton more pollinators.
So I'm hearing.
I'm not saying that
hearing-
I'm not saying I want to use my garden space growing stuff I can't eat. But I'm saying it would be nice to have pollinators come in and things to attract them.
So I'm hearing grow all the flowers.
I don't know what you're hearing.
Grow all the flowers.
I know what I said. I don't know what you're hearing.
You said grow all the flowers. So new to the channel, excited to see what's going on from Indiana. Well,
Thank you for watching.
Yes, thanks
Appreciate
for being
it.
here. We're about what, 2.5 hours from the Indiana state line? Thereabouts? 3 hours?
Yeah, we're an hour and a half south of Louisville.
Yeah.
About 90 miles south of Louisville. Yeah.
Yep. Purple attracts the most. Good to know. I will be putting all the purple flowers out
attracts
then.
the most. Okay.
Plant flowers all over my garden. Nasturtiums too, to attract aphids off your plants. Plant flowers. By the way, I grew nasturtiums last year and I tasted them because, you know, they're an edible flower and they're nasty.
Not a fan.
Just in my opinion. But yeah, people put that on salads. They put it on a lot of different things and I thought it was disgusting.
Use pots for your flowers. You know, I don't think we're going to do potatoes again this year. So we might be able to use our pots, our buckets.
I won't be growing potatoes in buckets for sure.
So we can use those for other things.
Yes.
And maybe flowers.
Yes. But potatoes are not going to be grown. Let's see, grow edible flowers, 5 acres safe from the tax man.
They taste like a strong arugula.
Howie, I like that. That's funny.
Are
The flower, wait a minute, which kind of plant flower? Oh, talking about nasturtiums. Yeah, they're just, it was, the ones that I tried with, like, at first kind of had like the first thing you taste is sweetness, but then it's a very peppery green flavor. I was not a fan. Not a fan at all. Different tastes with different varieties. I make elixirs with them also. Oh, very cool. Nasturtium leaves have a crazy amount of vitamin C. I dehydrated the leaves and powdered them to add to stuff for a vitamin boost. Good idea. Rescued
a hot pepper taste?
Yeah, I just didn't like it. I mean, it was, I would say, I would compare it more to like, I don't want to say horseradish because I like horseradish, but it kind of sort of like that. But like horseradish without the mayo. Yuck.
Skinner Farms is 2 hours north of Louisville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're about 3.5 hours away from us.
Yeah. Have you ever grown grapes or blueberries? No. I actually did have a grapevine for 5 minutes.
Yeah, we had grapes as a kid. When I was a kid growing up, my parents had a grapevine. And
my uncle had a wild grapevine.
yeah, my dad had an awesome grapevine. And it produced very well. But we've not done one. We've never had one.
Yeah. Hey, Roses. I'm sorry you're late, but yeah, it is.
Yep, it's about that time for us to wrap it up.
Yep,
just gotta,
8:59.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a clock right there on the screen.
Oh, okay. Blueberries grow wild in the forest, mostly toward the alpine around
Hello
here.
from Louisville.
Well, hey, look, we got people joining from close by. That's neat.
I was born in Louisville, but I didn't grow up there.
I wasn't. But no, a couple of my, no, what is it? I have one, there's one YouTuber that I watch that lives in Louisville. And her channel is called Watch Autumn Keto. I really like her. And she and her husband have actually been on a commercial that I have seen here.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Watch Autumn Keto, and that's her husband. That's crazy. But yeah, they live in Louisville. So anyway, all right. Well, it is now 9 o'clock our time. You guys make this hour fly by every week, and y'all are just so much fun.
Yeah. A good well, it kind of got me excited because it was a good reminder. We got to get those seeds started. Yeah. And just thinking about, thank you for the advice about the extra flowers and different ones that we need to attract our pollinators. That's good advice for us. So hopefully hopefully we've shared stuff with you guys, but you guys always seem to help us on our live shows.
Yep.
So we appreciate all your help.
We've
all
been
your
gardening
advice.
for 8 years, 9 years, 8 years, and always learning.
Yeah,
always learning.
Always learning.
If you're not learning, then you're really probably not
Good
gardening.
night, Jared. Yeah.
All
So,
right.
yeah, thank you guys for joining us tonight. As always, if you're new to our channel, please subscribe and follow along with us.
Yep.
And I'll let you close it out.
Thanks, Kathy. She just shared Watch Autumn Keto's channel.
And thanks to our moderators.
Yes.
Thank you as always for all your awesomeness.
Yes, your awesomeness for
You're
sure.
awesome.
All right, you guys, thank y'all so much. Until next time, remember to be vigilant, be prayerful, and be prepared. And we'll catch you in the next one.
See you guys.
God bless. Bye, guys.